Now, units of current strength. CGS unit of current strength is electrostatic unit of current or stat ampere, and electromagnetic unit of current is ampere. Stat ampere is written small st capital A, and ampere AB small letter, ampere capital A, and SI unit is ampere. Now we'll tell the definition of ampere only. What is 1 ampere current? So I is equal to current strength is equal to charge by time, I told you. So if Q is 1 coulomb and T is 1 second, then current strength is 1 ampere. Obviously Q is equal to 1, T is equal to 1, therefore I is equal to 1. So if 1 coulomb of charge flows through any section of a conductor in 1 second, then the current strength of the conductor is said to be 1 ampere. If 1 coulomb of charge flows through any section of a conductor in 1 second, then the current strength of the conductor is said to be 1 ampere. So this is a definition of ampere, and relation between ampere and stat ampere and ampere is similar to that of coulomb. That is 1 ampere is equal to, you write 1 ampere, 1 AB capital A is equal to 10 ampere, 10 A is equal to 3 into 10 to the power 10 stat ampere. It is similar to coulomb. Actually coulomb per second means, coulomb per second is ampere. So just is the same. So 1 ampere is equal to 10 ampere is equal to 3 into 10 to the power 10 stat ampere. So if you have to write the relation between stat ampere and ampere, then 1 ampere is equal to 3 into 10 to the power 9 stat ampere. The relation among these three. Now Ohm's law. From Ohm's law, now we will tell about the Ohm's law. And the next one is Ohm's law. Statement of Ohm's law. They write the statement: temperature and other factors remaining constant, temperature and other physical factors remaining unaltered but constant, the current strength of a conductor is proportional to the potential difference across its ends. You get the definition in your book. Temperature and other physical factors remaining constant, the current strength of a conductor is proportional to the potential difference across its ends. Suppose I am considering a conductor and the potential difference, say potential at the two ends, the mathematical presentation we can write, say potential, suppose AB is a conductor with electric potential VA and VB at the two ends, VA and VB, I wrote here, VA and VB, where VA is greater than VB. That is, A is at higher potential. Therefore, obviously, current will flow from A towards B. I told you the conventional current flows from higher potential point to lower potential point. So, current will flow from A towards B. So, say the current strength is I. The description is given in a book. Just try to understand. So, current strength I. So, a conductor is considered AB with electric potentials VA and VB at the two ends, A and B respectively, where VA greater than VB. If I be the current strength, then according to Ohm's law, I is proportional to VA minus VB. When temperature, you have to write it. I is proportional to VA minus VB when temperature and other physical factors, you write temperature and other physical factors like length, area of cross section and material of the conductor, length, area of cross section and material of the conductor, and light, magnetic field, pressure, etc. remain unaltered. These are the other physical factors. I is proportional to VA minus VB when temperature and other physical factors like length, area of cross section, and material of the conductor, and light, magnetic field, pressure, etc. remain unaltered. These are the other physical factors. You have to write them. Or we can write VA minus VB is proportional to Y. Just reverse one. VA minus VB is proportional to Y. Or VA minus VB is equal to I into R. Or VA minus VB is equal to I into R. Where R is a constant. Called resistance of the conductor. Where R is a constant called resistance of the conductor. This is the mathematical form of Ohm's law. Or you can write V is equal to I into R. Instead of VA minus VB, you can write, you have to write in bracket, the considering VA minus VB is equal to V. Considering VA minus VB is equal to V. Considering VA minus VB is equal to V, we can write V is equal to I into R. That is, potential difference is equal to current strength into resistance. Potential difference is equal to current strength into resistance. This is the mathematical form of Ohm's law. Potential difference is equal to current strength into resistance. Sometimes it is asked in the exam, name the constant of Ohm's law. The name of the constant of Ohm's law is resistance of the conductor. Name of the constant of Ohm's law is the resistance of the conductor. Sometimes in your exam statement of Ohm's law, someone write in the reverse one. That is some of you write like this: the temperature and other factors remaining unaltered, the potential difference across the two ends of a conductor is proportional to current strength. It is not correct statement. Ohm stated the current strength is proportional to potential difference. So you be careful of writing this. Potential difference is not actually their reverse one is also true, but the statement of Ohm's law, in the statement of Ohm's law, it was told the current strength to the conductor is proportional to the potential difference. You have to write like this. Now this is a statement of Ohm's law. Now I told you the name of the constant of Ohm's law is resistance of the conductor. What is resistance? Definition of resistance. Definition of resistance, you write, what is resistance? Physical definition, the resistance of a conductor is a physical property. You have to write like this, resistance of a conductor is a physical property by virtue of which it opposes the flow of current through it. Resistance of a conductor is a physical property by virtue of which it opposes the flow of current through it. This is a physical definition. And mathematical definition actually from Ohm's law, definition of resistance from Ohm's law, you write. Definition of resistance from Ohm's law, the mathematical definition. Actually you see V is equal to I into R, or we can write R is equal to V by I. R is equal to V by I. Therefore we can write mathematical definition, you write resistance of a conductor is defined. Resistance of a conductor is defined as the ratio of the potential difference across the ends of the conductor to the current strength through it. Resistance of a conductor is the ratio of the potential difference across the two ends of the conductor to the current strength through it, but to the strength of the current flowing through it. You can write like this, to the current strength through the conductor. There is ratio of the potential difference to current strength will give you the resistance of the conductor. This is the mathematical definition. If it is asked in the exam, define resistance, you have to write both the definition. And if it is asked define resistance from Ohm's law, then you write the second definition. The ratio of the potential difference to current strength. Now, units of resistance. Before that, you tell dimension of resistance. You can write the dimension of resistance. Dimension of resistance, you see, you can write like this: dimension of resistance. You see, resistance is equal to V by I. Therefore, dimension of resistance is equal to dimension of V by I. Dimension of resistance V by I. I told you the dimension of electric potential as mL square. You write yourself mL square a to the power minus 1 t to the power minus 3. I told you the dimension of electric potential divided by A, dimension of current. That is mL square a to the power minus 2 t to the power minus 3. This is the dimension of resistance. I wrote here. This is the dimension of resistance. R is equal to V by I. So dimension of resistance of it give dimension of potential difference or potential divided by dimension of current strength. So obviously these are mL square a to the power minus 2 t to the power minus 3. This is the dimension of resistance. Now comes units of resistance. Units of resistance in CGS system, it is ESU of resistance. ESU of resistance, and another electromagnetic unit of resistance, there is stat ohm and ab ohm. Ohm is the and SI unit is ohm. Ohm you can write a symbol. So CGS unit, in CGS unit it is stat ohm. Omega, capital omega, a symbol. Stat ohm and ab ohm. And SI it is ohm. I wrote it here. A CGS unit, electrostatic unit, stat ohm, electrostatic unit of resistance, stat ohm, electromagnetic unit of resistance, ab ohm, and SI unit, ohm. These are the different units of resistance. Now we shall define ohm first and tell the relation. Definition of ohm. You write the definition of ohm. Obviously definition will come like this. Resistance is equal to potential difference by current strength. So if V is equal to 1 volt and I is 1 ampere, then obviously resistance is 1 ohm. Ohm is equal to volt by ampere. So you can write the definition like this. If 1 ampere current flows through a conductor, for a potential difference of 1 volt across its ends, if 1 ampere current flows through a conductor for a potential difference of 1 volt across its ends, then the resistance of the conductor is said to be 1 ohm. If 1 ampere current flows through a conductor for a PD of 1 volt across its ends, then the resistance of the conductor is said to be ohm, 1 ohm. Ohm is equal to volt by ampere. So you can write ohm is equal to volt by ampere. The relation among them, ohm is equal to volt by ampere. And relation between CGS and SI unit, I wrote here, you see, 1 stat ohm is equal to 9 into 10 to the power 11 ohm. 1 stat ohm is equal to 9 into 10 to the power 11 ohm. 1 stat ohm is equal to 9 into 10 to the power 11 ohm, and 1 ab ohm is equal to 10 to the power minus 9 ohm. 1 ab ohm is equal to 10 to the power minus 9 ohm. 1 stat ohm is equal to 9 into 10 to the power 11 ohm, and 1 ab ohm is equal to 10 to the power minus 9 ohm. So these are the relations among the different units of resistances. Next comes representation of Ohm's law graphically. Graphical representation of Ohm's law. Graphical representation of Ohm's law. Actually, the graph is called current voltage graph. The graph is called current voltage graph. In graphical representation, it's called current voltage graph. Current voltage graph of Ohm's law. Current voltage graph, you see the diagram, it is shown here. You just see the book, this is the current voltage graph. I am plotting the potential difference V along x-axis and current strength I along the y-axis. Potential difference V along x-axis and the current strength I along y-axis. And this graph is called current voltage graph. According to Ohm's law, this graph is a straight line passing through origin. The graph is a straight line. I is proportional to V. V is equal to I into R. So I is proportional to V. Therefore, this is a straight line passing through origin. Sometimes it is asked in the exam. So the nature of the graph. So current voltage graph of according to Ohm's law is a straight line passing through origin. Sometimes it is asked in the exam what the nature of the. So it is a straight line passing through origin. Now, what is represented by the slope of the graph? Sometimes this question also asked. What is represented by the slope of the graph? What is represented by the slope? Slope means, what is slope? You read it in class 9. Slope, this is this by y-axis, the length along y-axis by length along x-axis. So this by this will give you the slope. This distance by this distance will give you the slope. Tan theta, tangent of the angle. I am just drawing this here, the slope. I am just drawing here as you can understand. This is the slope, you see. Tangent of this angle is called slope. This is the current voltage graph. This is tan theta is equal to this by that, perpendicular by base. So this by this will give you the slope of the graph. And slope of the graph represents the resistance of the V by actually I by V. Slope means I by V is represents reciprocal of the resistance or conductance of the conductor. What is represented by the slope of the graph of Ohm's law? The slope of the graph represents reciprocal of the resistance or conductance of the conductor. Now another question, what are ohmic and non-ohmic conductors? Give examples. What are ohmic and non-ohmic conductors? Give examples. What are ohmic and non-ohmic conductors? Give examples. You write those conductors for which Ohm's law can be applied for wide range of current strength and potential difference. Those conductors for which Ohm's law can be applied over wide range of potential difference and current strength are called ohmic conductors. All metallic and non-metallic conductors are ohmic conductors. All metallic and non-metallic conductors are ohmic conductors. The Ohm's law can be applied. That is, current is proportional to potential difference. That is IV straight line. This is an ohmic conductor. So those conductors for which Ohm's law can be applied over wide ranges of current strength and potential difference are called ohmic conductors. All metallic and non-metallic conductors are ohmic conductors. And non-ohmic conductors, those conductors for which Ohm's law cannot be applied for any current strength and potential difference. Those conductors for which Ohm's law cannot be applied for any current strength and potential difference are called non-ohmic conductors. Are called non-ohmic conductors. Example of non-ohmic conductors, you write semiconductors or non-ohmic conductor. Electric discharge tube, non-ohmic conductors. Electric discharge tubes. Electric discharge tube, you see in tube light. A tube light is electric discharge tube. This is electric discharge tube. Electric discharge tubes are non-ohmic conductors. Electronic valves, diode valve, triode valve, electronic valves are non-ohmic conductors. So these are non-ohmic conductors. Ohm's law cannot be applied in them. Now we'll come, next topic is internal resistance of a cell. I told you earlier the resistance of the material of the cell is called internal resistance. What define internal resistance of electric cell? We have to solve problems from Ohm's law. You see the problems given in your exercises and try to solve them. Now, define internal resistance of a cell. When electric cell delivers current through a circuit, the resistance offered by the cell material, in the internal circuit of the cell is called internal resistance of the cell. The resistance offered by the cell material in the internal circuit of the cell is called internal resistance of the cell. On what factor does the internal resistance of a cell depend? It depends on, number one, areas of cross section of the two electrodes. Just given hyphen, greater the area, less is the internal resistance. And now first point I told, areas of cross section of the two electrodes. The areas of the two electrodes. Greater the area, less is the internal resistance. Number two, the distance between the two electrodes. Greater the distance, more is the internal resistance. Distance between the two electrodes. Greater the distance, more is the internal resistance. And number three, nature of the electrolytic liquid used in the cell. Nature of the electrolytic liquid used in the cell. Hyphen, just give a hyphen, write. More the conductivity of the liquid, less is the internal resistance. More the conductivity of the liquid, less is the internal resistance. So these are the three factors on which the internal resistance of a cell depend. Our next topic is the Ohm's law applied to a complete circuit. Ohm's law applied to a complete circuit. Ohm's law applied to a complete circuit. We just draw one complete circuit. This is a complete circuit. This is the diagram. You see. The complete circuit, electric cell is there. Its EMF is E. In E is the EMF of the cell. Small r, just write comma, give comma. Small r is the internal resistance of the cell. E is the EMF of the cell. Small r is the internal resistance of the cell. And capital R is the external resistance connected to the cell. This is the complete circuit. Now you see, this part of the cell is the external circuit, and only within the cell, this part is internal circuit. Actually, internal resistance come within the cell, and that's why you need not draw the resistance here. This is the symbol of resistance. External circuit I show the R, capital R, and small r is the internal resistance, E is the EMF of this cell, and the I is the current strength. So, the cell is connected to the resistance R, and I is the current strength to the circuit. And due to this, the connection, current is flowing. Now, according to Ohm's law, we can write current strength I is equal to E by R plus R. Total resistance of this circuit is R plus R. Total resistance is R plus R. Therefore, current strength I is equal to E by R plus R. E by R plus R. Therefore, we can write E is equal to, you see, IR into IR. E is equal to IR into IR. Now, this IR is the potential difference across this resistance. This is the potential difference across the resistance. IR is the potential difference across the resistance, and a I into small r is the inner drop of potential. This is internal circuit. So EMF is equal to potential difference plus inner drop of potential or lost volt. That is, this is called lost volt or inner drop of potential. So EMF of a cell is the potential difference plus inner drop of potential. I told it earlier that why is potential difference less than EMF. So potential difference is equal to C, potential difference is equal to E minus IR. That is, potential difference is equal to E minus small v. EMF minus lost volt give you the potential difference. That is why potential difference is less than EMF. So in complete circuit, it is understood that EMF is equal to potential difference of the cell. Actually, potential difference of the cell means potential difference across the external resistance. Potential difference across the external resistance, potential difference across the cell, same thing. PD across the cell or PD across R is same. This is capital V. So E is equal to V plus V, small v is the inner drop of potential. Now we see if R is equal to 0, capital R, that is cell is short circuited. Now no external resistance is connected. The cell is connected directly to a circuit without any resistance. The cell is connected to a resistanceless circuit only by connecting wires. The two terminals of the cell is connected by a wire, simple wire. This is called short circuiting of the cell. In that case, R is equal to 0. And as R is equal to 0, then E is equal to, then if R is equal to 0, then V is equal to 0, and V is equal to 0, therefore EMF becomes equal to inner drop of potential. This is another definition of internal EMF. So if we apply Ohm's law in complete circuit, we got E is equal to V plus V, where capital V is the potential difference, small v is the lost volt, inner drop of potential. Now when external resistance is 0, then R is equal to 0, then V is equal to 0. So V is equal to 0. So when this cell is connected to a resistance-less circuit, these two terminals are connected by wire, then E is equal to inner drop of potential. This is another definition of EMF. You write the definition of EMF. This is another definition question. Write the definition of EMF of a cell with the concept of inner drop of potential. Write the definition of electromotive force of a cell with the concept of inner drop of potential. With the concept of inner drop of potential. With the concept of inner drop of potential. You just first write the definition. You write the amount of work done in carrying unit positive charge The amount of work done in carrying unit positive charge from negative electrode to positive electrode of an electric cell. The amount of work done in carrying unit positive charge from negative electrode to negative electrode of an electric cell through its internal circuit when the cell remains connected to a resistanceless circuit. When the cell remains connected to a resistanceless circuit is called EMF of that cell. I am repeating. The amount of work done in carrying unit positive charge from negative electrode to positive electrode of an electric circuit, from negative electrode to positive electrode through internal circuit of a cell. When the cell remains connected to a resistanceless circuit. When the cell remains connected to a resistanceless circuit is called EMF of that cell. That is, the cell is short circuited. R is absent. The positive and negative terminal is just connected by a wire. And here the amount of work done in taking unit positive charge from negative electrode to positive electrode. From negative to positive electrode. Negative electrode, the small one, the big positive electrode. When capital R is 0. Alternatively, we can tell EMF of a cell is equal to the inner drop of potential. EMF of a cell is the inner drop of potential of the cell, inner drop of potential of init. EMF of a cell is the inner drop of potential in it when the cell remains connected to a resistanceless circuit. EMF of a cell is its inner drop of potential when the cell remains connected in a resistanceless circuit. This is alternative. It is a definition of EMF with the concept of inner drop of potential.